I was going to look specifically at the way we structure our rationale, and I think this is probably a good tip for your writing in general, because a lot of us are writing for the sake of getting to a word count. A lot of us are writing thinking, how do I get more words in? How do I get more references in? How do I shove more stuff in? Don't. That's exactly right. When you do that, you sort of lose focus about why we're writing what we're writing. We always need to keep in the heart of all our writing, always asking ourselves, what's the purpose of this? And how does this, in this context, how does this link to our investigation? So a really good question, or a good point to start is, what is the purpose, or what's the goal of our text? What are we trying to get out of our text? When you start writing, what are you achieving? What are you trying to achieve? So you're trying to do what to your topic? Elaborate. Just elaborate. Show me how much you know about it. Explain it. So what I wanted, we are trying to prove or disprove our claim or elements of our claim. Do you have to disprove the whole lot? So, whenever we are writing in this context, every single word we are putting on this piece of paper should be working towards achieving this goal. Every single word. If you are not working towards this, you're not going in the right direction. You are showcasing an inability to be discerning about important information, which comes up on your criteria. So to showcase your ability, one of the things that you need to be able to do is be really discerning about, does this help me prove or disprove my claim, or an element of my claim? Are we happy with that?
Yes.
Now I think a lot of us in our body paragraphs are okay. We're going to come back to those. A few little refinements will get us in the right spot. But a lot of us are struggling with this first paragraph. And I think that's because we don't get what the goal of the first paragraph is. So Ethan, you seem to be helping Liam there. What do you think the goal for the first paragraph is? Introduce your claim. Is that it? Be a pretty short paragraph. Yes. Why are we trying to break down the key aspects? Okay. Are there some terms in there with subjective definitions? So a word I've seen pop up quite frequently is the term clean.
No.
Now you and your parents might disagree on the term clean, for example. So it's very important that if they're reading your science investigation about the term clean, that you are setting the tone for what you believe clean is. Correct? So, the goal of our first paragraph is, as Ethan said, to introduce our claim and to ensure that the reader is fully aware of how your claim is being defined and how you intend to go about proving it. So it's all about introduce claim, define, I'll just put define key elements. And what's the last part? Yeah, what's the research question all about? The research question is about? Yeah? Why did you create your research question, gentlemen? Because the task sheets that I had to?
To elaborate on the claim.
Elaborate on the claim and show how you intend to prove or disprove your theory. So introduce claim, define the key elements and explain how you will now what you'll notice is that at no point in there should you be talking about the body of your investigation. There should not be large sections of information relating to the safety or the feasibility of nuclear power in Australia. You can introduce those terms. You might be able to put a sentence worth of information together to help you with your definition of the key aspects. But do not, and I'll repeat this again, do not start writing your body paragraphs in the first paragraph. This is all about setting up the rest of your text. Signposting, saying what you're going to talk about. So the structure I think you should follow, and this is the structure they use in the sample. First thing I want you to do is introduce your claim. And you can take the way that they've done that, basically word for word, off the sample. I have no problem with that. The second thing you're going to do is break down the key aspects. Now in red, I've put some of the key aspects that every person in this room should be investigating. Every person is looking at nuclear power. That is a subjective term. What do you mean by nuclear power? If you're going to talk about fission, do you want to talk about one technique for fission? There are plenty of techniques. Don't just throw the word nuclear power out and assume that everyone understands what that means. Because your understanding could be quite different from the person reading it.
Is like chain reaction a technique for fission?
Chain reaction is, you're talking about fission, but you need to be specific about, you don't have to be, but you should be probably specific about which technique you want to use.
What's like a technique?
Well, you could use the splitting of uranium-238 or 235. That is a technique. Or you could pick the most popular, it's up to you. Some people have looked at the latest and greatest techniques. Some have used the most popular techniques. Some have looked at techniques that are being currently investigated for the future. There are plenty of ways you can go about it. Then, depending on which claim you've chosen, safe and main source of energy are the other claims, other aspects you should be investigating. And again, you can choose sources that support the way you want to go. With safety, you just need to find, and I'll give you an example of why you need to get another source to support your claim, support your definition. Because one person might define safety as purely about the working conditions of people in the power plant. Some people might determine safety in a nuclear context as the likelihood of an incident. Some might say it's about the weapons capabilities. Some might include aspects of those. You need to be very, very clear, because the person who defines nuclear safety as the workers' conditions, in that case they're not concerned with meltdown, or they're not concerned with weapons capability. Your investigation might go a different way. For the main source of energy, you might just want to prove... Hola, mis amigos. That wrong class. And I haven't got Kalen.
He's away.
Kalen's away, but... No, I'm always in SO1. I think you've looked at the wrong Phil Halber. Okay, all good. Right, bye. All right. So... Where was that? You want to break down your key aspects, and you want to use sources to support that. You saying this is what safety is does not hold credence. It does not hold sway. You need to get someone else's input about what the main source of energy is, what safety means. You might just want to prove that it's better than coal. You might want to prove that it's better than other renewable energies. It's up to you how you go. Clear? Once we've done that, we're introducing our research question. Every student in the room must have a research question. I read an alarmingly large number of drafts that did not have a research question. Your research question must be specific, and it must have key concepts that can be discussed in your body paragraphs. The more specific your research question, the more likely it is to help you address key elements in your body paragraphs. I've seen research questions like this. Nuclear power should be used as it's a safe mode of electrical generation. Is that a very specific claim, a research question? What does nuclear power mean? What does safe mean? A better research question would be something along the lines of, if the blah blah method of nuclear fission can be proven to lower the likelihood of death in operation with minimal risk of incident and nuclear weapons, then the safety aspect of the claim can be supported or proven. That would be a reasonable research question. Hannah, you had a question?
How come if you had the one that you said before, can't you go into the details like what you mean by safe and everything?
You could, but are you signposting what you're about to talk about in your body paragraphs?
Yeah.
It should be nice and clear and easy to read. If you signpost a research question effectively and don't leave it up to me to guess what you're talking about, chances are you're going to get a better result.
Okay.
Cool? Lastly, and I sort of did that in that example there, and this is so important because a lot of us are missing this element in all our paragraphs. You need to link your research question to the claim. How does proving aspects of your research question link, and when I say link, I mean how does it prove or disprove the claim? Does that make sense? If this is proven to be the case, how does that support your claim? Happy with that?